Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another one of my videos. My name is Matt Samolsky. I'm Matt the Car Guy. On this channel I do car reviews. I'm back here at Hyundai of Lakewood, Florida, and I'm here with this 2022 Hyundai Santa Fe Hybrid, and this is the Blue Edition, which is the most fuel efficient vehicle. And today I'm going to take you on the tour of it. We're going to check out the exterior, interior, play inside with some cool and interesting features on this vehicle, and finally I'm going to take you for a spin. So if you're ready, let's go. So Hybrid joined the Santa Fe lineup last year for 2021 model year, and it remains the same for 2022. This is a 2022 Blue Edition. In addition to this one, they also have the higher trims like the SEL and the Limited. This one is special because it's a base model, and I want you to bring it up to you so you can see what you get for the base price on this vehicle and the base version of it. As well, it has 1 miles per gallon more, better fuel efficiency than the SEL on the Limited. So it does have 31 on the highway, 36 in the city, for a combined miles per gallon of 34, which is really good for a vehicle this size, not being a plug-in hybrid, which, by the way, it's coming this year. So let's start with the front of this vehicle. I really like the lights on it. They're two-piece lights. The top of it is turn signal / the daytime running lights, but the real lights are in here. Standard comes with the LED, both headlights and the taillights. We'll take a look at those in a second. But what I like is this LED daytime running lights. They start over here kind of cascading like the waterfall into the main lights. So there's no fog lights on this particular one. And if you look at this, there's a little trim piece, and this is open. This is for that air to go in and help with the cooling of the brakes. As far as the grille on it, it's nice. It's not too obtrusive, and it's also not very shiny. It's kind of this polished or brushed aluminum look to it, and the same trim continues at the bottom of this vehicle. So these two pieces are open again to allow the maximum cooling. Big Hyundai logo, and that's the front of it. As far as the hood, nicely sculpted, modern, sleek, polished. It forms like a T letter on the hood for better aerodynamics and for cooler looks. So let's pop this cool hood and let's see what hides underneath it. So similar to the Tucson that we just did not too long ago, it is a combination of an electric motor with the gasoline engine. So you can see Hybrid Smart Stream on here. It's a 1.6 turbocharged engine, combined horsepower 226, 195 pound-feet of torque. Now you can see a lot of that orange wiring in here. This is for first responders as well as for you. Don't touch it, it's high voltage, so don't mess around with it. Just tells you it's a warning in here. What 6-speed automatic transmission, as far as 0 to 60, I'm not quite sure, can find that spec anywhere. So this one should be somewhere in the mid 7 seconds, which, you know, should be enough for most of the driving needs that you have. We're going to check it out at the end of it. I also like that they did use the hydraulic struts to prop this hood nice and tall. No visible differences on the side between this and the regular Santa Fe. I gotta tell you, I love this design. It's modern, it's sleek and polished. I mean, I love just how the vehicle looks. It looks like an SUV, but it has this kind of more aggressive stance because of this front end. Now this one is standard with 17-inch wheels. These are the standard wheels that come on the blue version on it. Actually, pretty nice design. I don't mind them. And all of the features that I'm showing you on this particular model are standard on. So you do have a blind spot assist in the mirror. You do have the turn signal that is inside of the mirror right here. You do have the keyless entry. Okay, you can see the vehicle locked once I touched it. Okay, it unlocked once I put my hand inside of the door handle. Nice trim at the bottom of here. That's matching the trim that's around the windows as well as the roof rails. Kind of breaks out any color that you put on this vehicle. So the hybrid comes standard with a few features. It comes standard with the LED headlights, LED taillights. It also comes standard with the H-Track, which is Hyundai's all-wheel drive system. So you can't get it in the front-wheel drive. So what do we have in here? Those beautiful LED lights. Third brake light here, nice gate spoiler, shark fin antenna, wiper. Now you don't see the exhaust. It is a hybrid, so they hide it, but it's a nice break off with the trim the same as you see on the side and in the front of here. I like this, this light connects the two LED lights. Unfortunately, it doesn't light up, which I wish it did. And then you have the rear view camera. And by the way, you do get the power lift gate even with the base model blue on the hybrid version. Here we have some factory installed accessories that came from the factory. It's like a cargo net, first aid kit, premium floor mats, and the premium mat in the back. And then what do we have? Similar to the Tucson, we do have a battery that is right in here. This is the auxiliary battery. And then we have the fix-a-flat, so we don't have a spare tire, we have a fix-a-flat kit. But I gotta tell you, we do have quite a bit of room behind this seat, and then we can extend it by pushing those seats down. Okay, these are power, well, not power, but they release the seats. You can release them from the very back of here, which is very comfortable, very nice. And this is how much room you'll have once the seats are folded down. Right, so roominess is definitely not an issue here. I'm 6 feet tall. I have plenty of room above my head, especially. There's no moonroof, there's no sunroof, so it makes it even taller on the inside than it is with one. The seat, you know, can be adjusted, so I can adjust the recliner of it as well as I can move it back and forth. So if I needed more room in the back, or if I wanted to relax a little bit more, I can make these adjustments on the seat. And this is not leather, this is the standard fabric on this vehicle. I kind of like it. Let me show it to you. Okay, let's start with the door. So, I mean, it's black on black, and I gotta tell you, I wish there was a little bit more color, kind of to break that up. As far as the quality of the material, this is a soft plastic. This, and this is all hard plastic in here, but again, we're looking at the base model of the Santa Fe. You do have the speaker cover in here, and then let's check out the interior. I like how they break out this color in here with the gray, and this gray, it looks like the gray wool color that we've seen on some of the Volvos, which it's not, it's the regular fabric, but it looks very stylish, but it also feels very durable. What else do we have in here? We have this armrest / cup holder that you can open up in here. Now the seats do fold down, we're gonna get to it. And then in the middle console you have your vents for the AC and heat, and then you have your USB, not USB-C, but the regular USB charging ports in here. Both seats get the storage in the back of them, and this is the second row seat. Let's check out how this door sounds. Boom, decent sound of the closing door. Front door, same as the rear. I mean, nothing too crazy. A lot of black trim. Now this one has a little bit of a different trim right here, kind of to break it up a little bit maybe. Other than that, standard features. You have the window mirror controls, then you have a little bit of storage at the bottom on here. Now you do have a driver power seat on this hybrid, the same seat. Let me give you a better look on it. It looks fairly comfortable, but it also looks sporty. Look at those bolsters. I mean, they stick out, so they're gonna keep you in place for a better driving position. Let me jump in here and see where the magic happens. Okay, so let's take a quick peek at this interior of this base hybrid blue. I gotta tell you, I mean, it does share pretty much everything with the more equipped vehicle, except it's got some spaces. It's got the smaller screen in here, but you know, as far as the quality of the material, the dashboard is wrapped in this soft vinyl in here. You do have a little bit of storage compartment right at the top of the glove box, which, by the way, is right here. And then this is lined with rubber, so you can stick your phone in here. Don't worry about it rolling around. Vents nicely incorporated in this. This one has this 8-inch screen, which is the smaller one out of the two, but it does have the 12.3-inch instrument cluster, which we're going to check out in here. But I also like how this dashboard is set up, so it's not boring. It's got several different layers to it, and it looks actually very nice and very stylish in here. So as far as the steering wheel, it's nice to the touch. It is a leather-wrapped steering wheel, and it does have some contrast stitching in here, but it does have several different buttons on. We're going to play around with it. Also standard with this Blue Hybrid, push button start. It's got this welcome chime, welcome tone. I hope the radio is not going to start blasting, which it shouldn't. So let's see what happens in here. We have this 12.3-inch instrument cluster, which is very similar to the one that we see on the Calligraphy. However, there is some major differences. It doesn't have one of my favorite features that Hyundai offers of it. I'm sure it does have it on the higher end models, but the blue one doesn't get it. See, where you have the speedometer right, you turn the turn signals to the left. On the higher end models, you'd have this little monitor, and blind spot monitor will show you what's right next to you. And it doesn't have this feature. So we're going to move on, and we're going to see what other features are available. So you have the drive info, you have the driver assistance, cluster settings, lights, door, digital keys. Oh, this is pretty cool. You have the enabled digital keys, which actually you can do the smartphone key in here too. And we can save that. Since my phone is paired in here, we're not going to actually do that. Convenience features, rear occupant alert, which is a nice and important features. As soon as I turn off this vehicle and open my driver's side door, it will say, hey, check the rear seats for occupants, welcome light. Wireless charging system, okay, it's enabled, and it is here, so that's a good thing. Auto rear wiper, I can turn that off, like when you put it in reverse. Vehicle auto shut off, 30 minutes, 60 minutes or off. So this is good, so you don't idle too much. This is basically, once we start driving, it's going to show you of where the power is. Tire pressure, we need to start driving for it to display, and engine temperature. So very cool system, very informative. At the bottom of here, you see that miles per gallon, current miles per gallon, it says 15.5, but you know, the vehicle's got 89 miles, and it was probably idling for, you know, a lot of it, and it's just test drive, so you know, people beat on them too. On the right hand side, you have eco charge and power. Normally you'd have like a tachometer in here, and this is basically tells you of where the power is coming from and if the vehicle is charging or if it's using the electric power. And right on top here, you can see that green EV right there, and this is basically tells you that right now the vehicle is in the electric vehicle mode, and you can, it's ready to drive. So you know, you can start driving it if you want to. There's a green light that you can start moving. So if I put it in drive, okay, doors lock, and I'm ready to go, and the vehicle is going to actually drive in electric power for just a quick split second or a few seconds, and then once you accelerate, you know, the combustion engine's going to kick in. So this is what you have on the steering wheel. You have your modes for the radio, you have your phone controls right here, and this is where I was playing with those features in the instrument cluster. And then you also have the cruise control and the cruise control, adaptive cruise control, which is standard, by the way, on this vehicle as well. So the 8-inch display right here, this is the smaller one, but it does have basically all of the features that you want. And as you can see, while using Android Auto, some user and then user vehicle information will be provided to your mobile device, right? We click OK, and the reason it says that is because I did pair my phone to Android Auto. But before we get to it, let's see what's standard on this vehicle if you didn't have anything. So let's go to all menus, and we can see the standard Hyundai menu. So you can have a phone, Blue Link radio, media, hybrid system. That's basically tells you fuel economy, electric motor use, energy flow, etc. So you can actually monitor that live while you're driving. Go back to the main screen. You can have the voice memo, which you can record if somebody's calling you, and you don't want to, you know, reach out for pen and paper while driving. That's obviously not safe. Then you can record that memo, retrieve it later. Climate control, quiet mode, that basically turns off the rear speakers and only the speaker and the driver side's going to play. Volume up to 7, valet mode. Again, you have to have a subscription in order to activate that. And then you can have setup and notifications. So fairly simple here, very easy to use. And then I do have the Android Auto actually hooked up in here. So once you turn that on, you can see the standard Android Auto interface. So if you like using that, that's actually, you don't have to have the navigation here. By the way, this is a wireless Android Auto. I know some of you commented on the previous one, hey, why doesn't the larger screen have the wireless Android Auto? It only has the wired one, and the smaller screen has the wireless one. And somebody replied that it's because of the stability issues. Now, I've only played with it when I tested the vehicles, but I had no problem connecting to it. And while I did the test drive and tested the vehicles, I never had an issue about it dropping connection or anything like this. So I don't know, maybe if you use it for a longer time, that becomes an issue. So this is your 8-inch instrument cluster or infotainment system right here. I really like this setup. You can see that in the higher end models. You can also see that in the Hyundai Palisade, very similar version to it. So your gear shifter, this is the push button one. Some people like it, some people hate it. I got used to mine really quick, as I was telling you in some other videos. This is basically your climate control settings. This is your different drive modes. So you have Eco, Smart, Snow, and Sport modes that are available to you with this vehicle. And here's what it does. So now in the snow mode, so it's white, we go to Sport mode, it turns red. We go to Eco mode, and it's kind of the greenish blue, environmentally friendly. And then we go back to white for the Smart mode. So Smart and Snow are white modes in here. And then we have the hill descent, downhill brake control basically right here. Auto hold, what it happens, you know, when you get to the stoplight and then you enable this system and you just press the brake pedal and let it go, the vehicle will not move until you hit the accelerator. And then you can turn on or off your parking sensors. And then you do have the rear view camera by pushing this button. So you can either enable it by pushing the button if you don't want to put it in gear, or you can put it in reverse. And what happens when you do put it in reverse, you have that the guidelines, the trajectory lines actually appear, and when you move the steering wheel, you actually see which direction the vehicle is going to go. Standard camera on here, the clarity is okay. I mean, it's actually better than some of the Highline vehicles that I reviewed, but it's not as good as some of the other ones, but it's, you know, definitely above average in its class. What else do we have here? Let's put it in park so we don't move around. I like this trim. This is kind of a I don't know, if not, it doesn't even look like a carbon fiber, but it does have its specific trim. Let me give you a close-up of it. See, you get little diamond shapes in here. Pretty cool in here. It's actually better than the piano black. It's more fingerprint resistant, if you will. So we have like one cup holder here, and then you can have a USB. You also see an indication right here that it does have the wireless charger, and this is the space where you put your phone in here. So you slide your phone in here and it's going to start charging wirelessly, which is pretty cool because you do have your wireless Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, so you don't have to worry about getting your vehicle the phone discharged while driving it. Another cup holder, and one thing I forgot to mention, standard equipment, heated seats. So if you're living in the area which you need them, you know, this is a pretty cool thing. And then you have pretty deep storage compartment inside of here. Okay, so you don't have a sunroof on top of here, so we're going to take a quick glance at the console right here. So all you have is the light controls, and then you have the blue link button, as well as you have the SOS button, and then you have the home link system buttons at the mirror, and this is pretty much it. So let's take this for a spin and see how it drives. Okay, so let's take this for a spin. Before we do that, as always, let's take a look at the pricing and the different trim levels that are available for the 2022 hybrid. So it's available, like I said, in 3 different trim versions. The blue, which is this one, is the base one. It starts at $33,750. Then the next trim is the SEL Premium, and that bumps it up to $37,810. It does give you the panoramic sunroof. That gives you the 10.25-inch screen with navigation system. And then the top of the line is the limited version, and that bumps it up to over $40,160. So as we sit right now, $33,750. There's a few added accessories that I'm going to link in the posted in the link in the description of this video, so you can check this out. But it's about $5,000 more than the base Santa Fe all-wheel drive. Now, it does have some standard equipment on this vehicle that is not available on the regular one, or you would have to upgrade it. And also the miles difference, it's 24 combined for the base Santa Fe, it's 34 combined for this. So 10 miles per gallon, that's the difference that you're getting if you're opting in for a hybrid vehicle. All right, so let's take this for a spin. Right now we're in the electric mode, so you can't hear the engine, the combustion engine, simply because it's not on. And we're gonna make a quick U-turn somewhere around this parking lot. Now we already turned on the combustion engine, so you can hear that, but it's very quiet so far. 1.6 liter combustion engine in here. Let's see if we can find some room to make a quick U-turn. And unfortunately for a lot of the dealerships, this is the situation that you see right now, empty lots. Now, as of filming of this video, they still have a few Santa Fe's in stock right now. So if you're looking for one, if you're in Florida, give guys at Gettle Hyundai a chance to earn your business, and let's see how it turns. All right, so wheels all the way to the left, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 parking spots, and just a little bit more, so just over 4 parking spots. So definitely within the same range as a lot of vehicles in its class. Now, where's the Santa Fe falls in the category of vehicles? So if you compare this, I think the only one that you can really compare it to would be, as far as another brand, of course, its sibling would be the Kia Sorento. But the other vehicle is the new Mitsubishi Outlander, which is not as big as, let's say, the Palisade, and not as small as the Tucson. And if you can think of any other vehicles, maybe Ford Edge would be another comparable to this. But other than that, I mean, it's got no competition. It's bigger than Toyota RAV4. It's bigger than Honda CR-V. That would be more direct competition to a Tucson. It's quite roomy, but it doesn't have the third row seat. So if you're not looking for a third row seat but need more roominess in the back, certainly a nice vehicle to consider. Overall, so far, drive is nice and smooth. Very little noise coming from the exterior as far as the tire noise. I mean, these are pretty beefy tires on those 17-inch rims. Now we're gonna open it up a little bit in here. Matter of fact, okay, I don't have the 0 to 60, guys. I really don't. But I'm gonna park it right here. I'm gonna put it in the sport mode, and I'm gonna hit it. Got it up to almost 60 miles per hour, and this is about as far as I can go on this street. But it was quick. It wasn't lightning quick, but for the regular day-to-day driving, it definitely has enough pickup to get you merged into traffic. I recently had some comments on another Hyundai video saying that, hey, 0 to 60 is super important because, you know, you need to race from light to light and cut into traffic and all that stuff. And, you know, I don't agree with that. In my opinion, you need to have enough acceleration to merge into traffic without having somebody causing to brake or rear-end you, without, you know, cutting in somebody's line of driving. So, I mean, it definitely has a substantial acceleration for that. And, you know, it's nice and it's comfortable. The seats are a little bit stiff, but they don't bother me at all. Okay, so as far as the acceleration, I think it's a plus. I mean, it gets you up and going. I think it's probably somewhere in the mid 7 seconds, so it's definitely not a race car, but it's going to get you going wherever you need to. It's going to give you enough power to merge into traffic, so that's a big plus. As far as the overall drive of this vehicle, I love the visibility. I like the overall feel. The steering wheel feels good. The turning feels good. You know, it's not too tight, it's not too loose. As far as the steering wheel, it does have a pretty tight turning, which allows you to maneuver it, you know, in the city. And you know, it does have a pretty good rear view camera, so it also allows you to park better. So I mean, it's definitely a great vehicle. Now, $5,000 difference between this and the regular non-hybrid version, and 10 miles per gallon difference in the combined driving. I mean, that would be a really a choice that you'd have to make, figuring out how many miles per hour how many miles per year do you drive, and can you really take advantage of the hybrid vehicle, because sometimes the cost does not justify. If you're on the driving, let's say 5,000 or 10,000 miles per year, it's going to take you years to recoup the difference that you spend on the hybrid versus non-hybrid. But also another thing with the gasoline prices going up, and you know, it's important that you have this great fuel economy, and 10 miles per gallon better than on the regular one. It makes a difference too. So guys, overall, I like this vehicle a lot. I think you get a lot of features for the money with it. $33,750, so almost $34,000. It's definitely not a cheap vehicle, but combine that with the features that you're getting and compare it to the competition, definitely comparable, definitely competitive. Also, one thing to mention, the 10-year warranty that you get with Hyundai, the 3 years free maintenance, the 5 years 60,000 miles warranty and everything, because the 10-year 100 is basically a powertrain warranty. I mean, I think you have a winner here. The option that I would choose if I were to buy it would probably be the SEL premium version, because you'll get a little bit better infotainment system. You'll get 19-inch wheels versus those 17-inch wheels. You get the panoramic sunroof. So with those three features, I mean, if you were to add them separately, you'd spend more than that $3,000 or $3,500 difference than the other vehicle is. So that would be my choice. I don't necessarily have to go with the limited and spend another $2,000, but check them all out. Again, thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful. I hope you like watching videos like this. If you do, consider checking out the rest of my channel. Hit that little notification bell, and of course subscribe if you haven't already, and give me a thumbs like so we can help the YouTube algorithm to show my videos to other people. And until then, I will see you in my next video. Cheers.